Hello, I'm Fenland Fisherman and welcome to another fishing video. Oh, hello, and yet again you join me and Mr. Barrett chasing another dream, and today our target's probably our hardest yet. We've decided to target catfish. Now, catfish can be caught, and quite often you have to put in quite a few days and nights in the water to catch one, but we've decided to try and target one in one day. Not even a night, just one day. So we've come down here to a local fishery to see if we can try and get one. Now, the reason why we haven't put a weight to this target is because there's a lot of catfishermen will know, although it is possible to get a catfish out during the day and in one day, it's very hard. So any catfish we can get out today of any size will more than fill our dream target. So that's our target, one catfish or a catfish today during the day. Got a few hours to do it, just arrived down to the fishery, and well, hopefully we can get a few. I'm going to take you through the tactics and things a little bit later. As you can see, it's blowing a gale behind me and it's really quite windy and rainy, so probably not the ideal catfish weather. We want a bit warmer than this, but hopefully we can get one out. Right, there we go, off the mark now. Forgive me, I'm not going to hold it up properly for you because it's being a bit badly behaved, but £14, my first British cat, and as I said earlier, this challenge isn't about the size, just about actually being able to get one out in a day. Something very hard across the country, but can be done, as proven here. Look at that, what a big mouthful. I say such a small fish, but try and hold it up, but it's not being very nice for me. Real lovely long fish. What a cracker. Let's put it back. Right, it's going to slip her back now and give a bit of water in the sling. She already seems like she wants to go. Actually longer than the sling. Brilliant. Right, just going to dip front down, let her swim back to the deep. Brilliant. Let's get another.
Well, there we go. Caught on a proper cat rig. It's a little bit of a baby though, and my hat's gone. Never mind. Interestingly, if you see that rough bit on the top there, that's a pad mark from a bigger cat that's tried to eat it, so a bit different, but there we go. A baby Wells. Aren't they cute when they're this small? Because God, they get ugly.
But there we go. Just thought I'd show you one of the many small carp there are in it. And this is what we're up against on most of my cat waters. Nuisance fish and bream, but here they carp, so it's not that bad. Lovely little fish, probably about £3. Oh well, put this one straight back, just thought I'd give you an example of the sort of fish that we keep catching, other than the cats obviously. Oh, quite a lovely little fish. There you go. I think he wants to go back. Just gonna say, there you go though. Quite a pretty fish as well. Right, let's put it back.
And as you can see, this is a tightly done up clutch and a proper pike rod. This thing is really where is it? Oh, on the other side again, Fred. Get one back over first. The first one was just a preliminary. This is the main event. Well, this has just given me the best fight I've ever had with an English cat. It was awesome. Real good scrapper. Didn't even make £20, it's probably about £18. But I'm really happy with that. What a cracker. Went from a day ticket late, caught in the day, straight on the worms again. I just cast out after that little one and it ripped straight off. that's a proper cat. Got to be happy with that. Let's get her back now.
Right, let's have a quick look at the baits I'm using. Now, in both my PVA bags and as feed, showing that both my rods are quite far out at the moment, so they're both on PVA bags. I've been feeding a spot relatively close with it. Make sure the bucket lid doesn't fly away. Just take everything out first. Yep, I'm feeding and putting in PVA bags this. This is literally a mixture of every fishy pellet I can find. Halibut, trout, salmon, everything in there. Also, there's a good half a bag of the oily bag mix from CC Moore. Love that stuff for everything, and I just thought it was so fishy and so oily. Got to be good for the cats. Now, as some of you may notice, there's some odd little bits in there, odd little strands and stuff like that. What that is liquidised tuna and 2 liquidised mackerel. Yes, as you can imagine, my kitchen smelled lovely last night. Yep, so a couple of liquidised fish in there as well, and it's really made it oily and really smelly. Literally, I put a little sprinkling down like that in the margins this morning to see how oily it was, and it's been carp feeding there all day. This lake is alive with carp. I know I want to come up on a few runs, but just put a little sprinkling down. The amount of fish on that is nuts. I'll see if I can touch some footage of it now, but the amount of fish on that bait was absolutely nuts. And when I'm putting it out with a really big oily slick, putting it out with my Gardner baiting spoon. There we go, brilliant little tool for everything that, well, baiting wise obviously. But huge oily slick, and the fish for some reason reacted very oddly to that. The carp were then coming up on the surface and looking for any little bit of pellet or anything floating in that slick. There was probably about 10-15 carp constantly coming up, feeding on the surface after that bait went in. Brilliant bait, really happy with how that's turned out. On the hook, can't beat it for cats. Lovely big halibut pellet. There's Mark trying the worm rig. There's me trying, I suppose, what's become more of a traditional approach now, using pellet. Live and dead baits abound on there, so it's either pellet or worm really. I've just put a worm rig out. I had it out earlier, but to no avail. Now Mark's a bit of success in it. I'll just put mine out worm rig. Nothing's happened. I might bring it in again soon. But yes, I'm using the halibut pellets. Fish literally just jumped right in front of me, about a foot out. Yes, I'm using the halibut pellets. I've got great confidence in them. I've had a couple now. First ever UK cat. Absolutely ecstatic with that. Brilliant stuff. But anyway, I think I'm going to change that worm rig over soon, and hopefully we can get another one. Long after the first, this is my second catfish now. Well, I say catfish, it's more of a kitten. What a lovely little fish it is. I thought it was a small carp when I was bringing it in. Getting on 2 20mm halibuts. What a long fish for the size. You wouldn't believe the amount of leeches on this. Obviously been sitting up in the bottom. Look at that. Oh, he's not enjoying that too much. He's getting rid of all the halibut pellets he's eaten earlier. There you go, look at that. What a lovely little fish. Let's get it back. Just show you. Those feelers there. I say feelers, they're really elongated barbules. Look at that. Lovely stuff. Let's put it back.
Well, as you can see, I'm covered in slime. A big grin, cheesy grin on my face because I've just had that cat. And while we've got the rods out of the water, it was a pretty good idea and a pretty good time to just show you through the rig, because I've been talking about it was caught on the worm rig, which this is what this is. Now, simplicity itself really, although there are some things in here which you won't probably see used for any other species of fish. First part of it though isn't that unusual, and that's a ledger stem. You want to make sure you've got a good heavy weight on there. I like the flat gripper ones because they stick to the bottom better. That's a 3 1/4 ounce lead, and it's just so you've got a nice free running setup there, so this bit can go up and down the water. Now this is the unusual part. Basically it's 2 poly balls on a stiff tube, and with a stopper bead there so that the tube doesn't ride over that part of over your ledger stem. Now the idea, and then also on the end there's a bit of silicone there. Now the idea of this is to take your bait up in the water. You can fish this from any depth, from just under the surface with these floating on the top, which I've tried today and without much success, So right the way down on the bottom, and it will sit and hold your worms up, something like that. Ideally, probably that hook length would want to be a little bit shorter, but it doesn't really matter. They normally sit just up, so basically, so the worms are wiggling and they're right in front of the catfish's face, so you can see them and they'll go bang for them. The hook length, that's these you can buy in most of the shops. They're sold by Catfish Pro Tackle. You know, the guy behind those, Simon Clark, knows probably more than most people about catfish, and you know, all this stuff is pretty good stuff. Again, it's a Catfish Pro hook length, that's Kevlar hook length. Cats do have loads and loads of tiny Velcro-like teeth, which, as you saw on the little one, can give a nasty little scrape rather than a bite, and the Kevlar just stops them biting through. And that's finished off by a size 1, I think they're Maritu Kinruru Catfish Pro hooks, but they're catfish hooks basically. Big, strong, sharp. They're very sharp. I've stuck this in my hand 3 or 4 times today, as Fred will testify, and I've been yelping and squealing all over the place. Very, very sharp. Now, all we do with this now is we add to it these bad boys, lobworms, and all you do is you literally just hook them once through the band like that, so they're squirming. I like a big old bunch. That one that I just caught came on about 6 or 7 of these. Now the thing is, although this is the problem with this fishery, is that it does have a barbless rule, so I've had to take the barb off of that hook. Now if you leave these like that, worms just on the hook, and it's barbless, they will eventually wiggle themselves all off. So what you do is a neat little trick. You get a bit of an old catapult elastic, cut about ½ an inch off, and you just put the hook through it, and that holds the worms onto the bend. And what catfish could resist that? Well, that 17-18 pounder didn't, that's for sure. So there you go, that is the catfish worm rig, and this is going straight back out so I can get another one. Well, I'm in again on the worm rig. It's been a little while after the last one, but this one's fighting just as hard. It's going to give me a bit of a run around near this reed bed, I'm afraid. Oh, come out. Come on, Ben. My third cat of the day, another double figure one, and again on the worm rig, doing the business. Just missed a run on the halibut pellets, and this one screamed off as I was rebaiting the rod. So happy days. Got to be happy with that. Beautiful cat. We'll get her back now. Right, it's pussy galore time. We got the 4th one in. This one's just slightly smaller than the biggest one. This one's 17 pound. Another cracking fish. Lovely lean fighting machine, and boy did this one go. Absolute cracker. Fortunately his whiskers are a bit knackered. I'm guessing that's a sign of being caught quite a bit. But what a cracking catfish, eh? And all on the price of a day ticket. Can't be bad. This has certainly exercised the demons of previous attempts at catfish filming, I tell you. Brilliant. Right, let's get her back.
Well, it's about halfway to 3/4 of the way through the session now, and I think it's gone really, really well. Our dream target was a catfish today, and we've managed quite a few between us. Couldn't tell you exactly how many we've had now, but I know Mark's definitely had the majority of the fish. I've had 2, but you know what? I'm so happy with that. It's really quite a personal challenge for me, this one, because I've been chasing my first UK cat for years now. Years I've been going for them, doing long haul sessions where I've blanked for 3 or 4 nights in a row, doing it every year. This year I didn't do any catfishing, thought that's it, I'm not going to get one, I'm going to wait till I come out of uni, then I'll do it. But the chance of this session came up. What do you know, one day, what are the odds? 2 catfish. Absolutely ecstatic with that. Now a lot of people say, oh wait a minute, but that fish we're fishing might be heavily stocked with them. I don't think it is, but even if it was, the thing about catfish that makes it so difficult is that they're binge feeders. They'll quite often feed really heavily for a few days and then not feed at all for a week, maybe 2 weeks, or even just say a few days. But if you arrive, quite often you do, if you arrive on those days when they're not feeding, you've had it, you won't get them. Unless you can manage to entice them, but generally you won't get them when they're like that. So yes, we're very lucky to have hit them on the right day. They're definitely feeding today. You know, Mark's had a few, I've had a couple. So really happy with that. And despite saying earlier, oh, I'm not going to do the worm rig, it's not working. Seeing as Mark's had quite a big fish, I think I'm going to change onto it. Just change the left hand rod onto it and put it out. Not quite as far as the right hand rod, just a little bit further in. So I'm on the worm rig now and hopefully we can get a fish before the evening. Yeah.
Well, what a day we've had. You know, pussy galore. And I've got to be honest, I can't say that too many times. It's been a really great day. 4 cats, sadly lost the last one right at the very end. And Fred missed one right at the very end, our able gopher. But a really great day, and it's definitely a place I should be back to. Thank you, Willowcroft, for a wonderful day. Expensive, I've gone through so much bait, it's ridiculous, but we shall be back. In the words of Arnie, I'll be back.
Well, it has come to the end of the day now. I've had a really enjoyable day. Managed to land my first ever UK cat with plenty of carp along the way as well. Mark's had a few more cats than me anyway. I've had 2, he's managed to land 4. So, you know, really pleased for him. And it's nice that we've managed to achieve our target, you know, just of getting a catfish. And you know, we've had them up to nice sizes, up to about 16, 17 pounds. My biggest was 14. But you know, like I said at the beginning and throughout, it's just about catching catfish. Size is pretty much irrelevant. So relieved, so happy to have finally caught my catfish. And sadly, not only will this be the last Chasing Dreams episode for a little while, but it'll be my last time fishing around here in Cambridgeshire in the fens for a little while. I'm off to Scarborough a few days time for university. Really looking forward to it, but I think the fishing is going to be a bit different, that's for sure. But like I said, really enjoyed the session, really happy we've managed to get our targets, and well, all I can really say is thanks to Mark, and see you next time, and tight line.